Welcome back to another episode of Talking Tarkov. I'm the Ear Lake Athlete here with.
Hey, Dizzle.
Today, we've got a new NikiLeak, the Arena update, including the BattlePass, and some other stuff to go over. Before we start, though, consider subscribing to the channel to stay up to date with all of our content. Now, let's get right to it. So we've had some pretty cool things happening. We got the first and foremost the Arena update, which brought us the first BattlePass.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of really cool rewards. I've been playing the shit out of Arena. Granted, I've had to take the last couple days off because me and the wife had some stuff we were doing. Had a nice little date night. Went and watched Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 with a live orchestra, or I guess a live symphony playing all the musical notes and numbers and effects, and it was just really cool. It was a really nice experience. We got to go out and have a nice little dinner and stuff like that. So that was cool. But granted, I've missed a couple days of grinding for the Battle Pass, so I'm a little bit behind. I don't think it's a big deal. The Battle Pass is only here for 2 months, so that's kind of limited. But it's pretty. If you do your dailies, it's pretty easy to get through. Realistically, I've probably only got a handful of hours into it, and I think I'm at like 24 already or something. And 4 of those levels came this morning as I was playing. But the rewards are pretty awesome. It's all cosmetic stuff. You've got reskinned CQCMs, reskinned face masks like the balaclava. You've got I don't remember what they call it, but it's like the fire on the base game Tarkov. It's just like a little face wrap and it's got like flames on it.
Oh, yeah.
It just like goes around the bottom half of your
It's
face,
like
I
the
think.
luchador mask type thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they added a bunch of reskinned versions of that. A few reskinned versions of the half mask. And then there's like, okay, so sunglasses, reskinned armors like the HPC armored rigs. The Karasa got a reskin. A bunch of the face masks. The CQCM got a reskin for several different styles. Some pretty cool ones at that. Let me just go ahead and show those on screen. It's not going to let me zoom it. But that's fine. Yeah, we've got 150 total tiers, and I don't think there's rewards for each individual tier. It kind of like breaks it up by
Yeah.
levels.
Yeah.
There's
There's some
sometimes it's like
skips.
level 15, 16, 17, 18, or whatever, and then other times it's like level 15 grants you these 3 rewards, and then level 18 gets you this, and then 22 will get you this.
Yeah.
But the coolest thing that there is to talk about throughout all of this, there's even a couple like t-shirts, pants, and a few different outfit options. But I think the coolest
Yeah.
thing to bring up and talk about with this is the paints, right? The camouflage paints, or not even necessarily the camouflage, but the paints. There are several. Let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Maybe I missed one, I'm not sure, but at least 19 different camo paints, and a lot of really cool different styles. I've unlocked 4 of them so far, I think. I've got yellow, up to yellow unlocked. So I've got white, I've got a woodland camo, I've got a coyote tan or something like that, and then the yellow one as well. The one thing I have noticed about the paints, though, is that you aren't able to just lay them onto every piece of the gun. Depending on the gun itself, only certain parts of it will take paint. And then depending on which part you put on, like with butt stocks, if you put on the PRS Gen 3, it doesn't take paint. But if you put on the MOE SG or any of the other MOE butt stocks, it does take paint.
Right. Certain parts, certain aftermarket parts are paintable. If the gun is paintable, all of it can be painted. But anytime you put something aftermarket on it, it depends on that part alone if it's actually paintable or not.
Yeah. Like the MDR can be fully painted all the way through, except for granted like suppressors and foregrips and things.
No, no suppressors can. Yeah, suppressors.
Well,
Foregrips, all of it.
certain ones. I'm just saying in general.
Right.
Some things can take full coats of paint. Other things you have to mess around and try to find exactly what can be painted.
I'd say out of the 2 or 3 builds that I painted, I got all of them completely painted.
A lot of the AKs won't. Yeah, as you say, a lot of the AKs won't let you fully paint them. The M4 won't let you paint it entirely.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, that's one of the ones I got fully built.
You can just go click paint on, it'll paint it.
Yep.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Yep.
if you
Paint all.
find the right parts to paint it, yeah, you can paint all the parts. I'm saying just like
No,
the
no.
base guns themselves.
I mean the base gun. Yeah, the base gun. You can just click paint all, and it'll paint it all.
On the M4?
Yeah,
Didn't think it would. I didn't think the
I'm
upper
pretty
painted.
sure. I'm pretty sure it did.
But yeah, you kind of have to go
I,
through and pick and choose and find the style and parts that can be painted or the guns that can be painted. You can't just take any regular gun and just paint it. Um, but yeah, it's a cool system. It's easy to get through doing your dailies, stuff like that. It doesn't require a lot of work. Pretty straightforward. You can pick and choose your dailies because you can just, as long as you have cash flow to throw at it, you can just replace the daily over and over and over again. There's really no downfall to it or downside to it. And then they've added a handful of new tasks as well through ref. But if you're not a PvPer, that doesn't really apply at the moment. We did find out that ref is still coming to PvE, correct?
yes, yes. Ref is coming along with his task lines and everything. And yes, the M4 can be fully painted. Yes, I just double checked it.
Maybe it's the HK. There was something 556 that I couldn't paint.
I was gonna say everything I seen. If the gun itself could be painted, you could paint the whole thing. I didn't see any that it limited me. Now aftermarket parts it did limit me, but the base gun I could paint the whole thing. It's a confusing
Just
thing.
not on every gun. Yeah.
Yeah, and everything that is paintable has a little spray paint can on the corner of it. So, you know what I mean? Like when you're buying something, you can tell before you buy it if it's going to actually be spray paintable or not. The cool thing about it is they're going to eventually, do this with every gun. It's just, they said, it just takes a while to get everything working. So they did it on this first few limited. They tried to make it like some of the more popular guns. But yeah, this will eventually come to everything though.
Let's see. And then all the rewards are going to be available through ref on PvP, and then obviously when he comes to PvE, they'll be available there as well, I would assume.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they're going to do that. They talked about buying things from ref. So what I was thinking is certain designs you're going to be able to buy from ref, like the CQCM with like a certain design on it. Already, like
So does
right
that mean you
now,
don't
you
have to
can
go
go
through
in.
Lightkeeper to unlock it anymore, I wonder? Or do you still have to unlock it through Lightkeeper and then you can buy them from ref?
No, this is a new one. This is a level 3 one. The ones that you've been unlocking are level 3. It's a whole new item in the game. Yeah,
Is
it's
it
not the
because
same
I
ones
noticed
you.
with a lot of the armors that are supposed to be level 5, they're all dialed down to level 4.
Yeah, yeah. All
I just
these
figured that was
things that
all
are
due to time to kill.
no, no, no. They just added new items. A lot of these are just new. They're also reskins, but they're also like new items.
So all the,
Yeah,
like
this new.
the stuff with like the level 4 plates in it, is that intended or are those new
Well, no,
items as well?
Arena has always switched the plates out in all the armors, like just for just for the sake of having teams be even and stuff. Like they've always did that. But like on the CQCM mask, which doesn't take a plate, it's just a whole new variant. But yeah, on
I
the
figured it
armors and
was
stuff,
just
I think they're just swapping
skins.
plates.
I
Yeah,
didn't think
it's
they'd add
actually
a whole
level
new mask
3.
for it.
Well, I mean, they just dialed down the level of the armor. You know what I mean? It goes from level 4 in the game to level 3 in Arena. Which there's the level 4 one is still there. But the one that you've been unlocking skins for has been the level 3 one. But yeah,
Right.
I don't know once they add it to real Tarkov. I don't know how they're going to do it. Some things I guess you can already get in real Tarkov. I guess in the PvP mode, you can like the neon green balaclava. Like if you have ref unlocked, I think you can go ahead and just buy that from ref once you have it unlocked. Um, I haven't personally went in and looked, but
So I'll have to check
I don't have.
once we finish
Yeah,
this.
yeah. That's the only thing I'm just wondering how they're going to do all this. On the skins, I wish they would have did the skins for the items like they did the guns, and just like you unlock patterns, and you could just apply those to like certain things you wear instead of like you unlock like 15
Specifically
different
locked
variants of
into
this
the,
mask.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I wish you would just unlock because I mean they did it with the guns. They should have just did it with the items too. But who knows? This is their first try with this. Who knows where it'll lead? I'm sure they'll get
Yeah,
a
I
ton of
think
feedback.
both systems are a little bit convoluted just because of the total amount of items, but it would be easier to
Yeah,
just be able to say, okay, I have this pattern. I don't know. Like I said, I think it's convoluted either way. Like you're gonna have a shit ton
yeah,
of face masks, you're gonna have a shit ton of paints, or you're gonna have a shit ton of whatever, and it's just gonna be like, well, I still have to go and find this, or this, like, or purchase it, or however they're gonna do it. So it's still taking up stash space, whether it's in whatever form. The paints would be easier just because it's once you unlock the paint and you have it, you've got it, right? Like you'd still have to sort through and find all your shit, but It'd be a
Well,
lot
see, and
easier
I
than
don't even
collecting 10
know.
face masks, 10 balaclavas, 10 fucking of the half mask. Like, that's a pain in the ass. And I hope that's not
Well, I
how
wonder
we go
in
about it.
ref. Yeah, I wonder if like you can buy the face mask and then apply whatever skin you have, like you can choose from them. I'm hoping that's how it's done instead of having to buy each individual face mask each time you want to change your skin. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I just really don't know.
I mean, if they change the way that the trader system works and it's, if you're looking for a gun, you click the gun tab. If you're looking for a face mask, you click the face mask tab underneath. Like, so you go to ref, you click face masks, and then it has half mask, balaclava, each one of those. And then similar to the paint system, you can just like click on it and pull a drop down to show you all the styles just to kind of help keep it organized a little bit. I don't know though, because I don't think that's even really the issue. I think the issue is going to be in your stash, right? Like just trying to keep all that shit.
Well, see, that's the other thing. I don't know if you even get to keep all of it. I don't know. Like from the way they've talked is like they said something about a lot of the stuff like clothing wise, it would just show up in your main tab, where you go to change your clothes, like not the ragman, but like just whenever you're looking at your main
Right, in
character
your
and you got
general
that little
tab,
drop
yeah.
down. Yeah, they said that's where you'll find all that new stuff. But then they said ref will also sell stuff that is not usable that way. So it's like I don't understand. I don't know. Like I said, I'm
Yeah, I don't know
confused
how
about it
they're
all.
gonna make that work. Yeah, I'm curious about
Yeah,
it.
I'm not sure about
It
any of
does
it yet.
pose a lot of questions though, right? Like how are they gonna
Yeah,
introduce the paints? How are they gonna introduce the face masks? Or what UI changes are gonna happen to make it all kind of fit and flow well? Because BSG does a pretty good job for the amount of items and things and just overwhelming amount of things, I guess, that are just in the game for purchase and to have in your stash and keep and this, that, and the other. They do a pretty decent job now of keeping it relatively slimmed down and relatively like easy to go through. But adding
yeah,
this much variance to individual items, I mean, there's different colors of the Karasa armor. The HPC armor got some changes. A few of the armored rigs and just rigs in general got some changes. Like that's a lot of stuff to try to track and keep on, especially if they try to add all of it over. Or maybe they just send over a more simplified version, and you just have a couple variants of each one.
right.
But yeah, it does open a lot of questions, which brings me to my next question, which we were talking about a little bit earlier, so we kind of both already know where each other stand on it. Um, should arena rewards in its entirety be available to EFT players, or should there be some exclusivity to unlocking everything through arena, i.e., the last 50 rewards are exclusive to arena players only, or do you think that the EFT players should have the same access to the entirety of the battle pass as well?
I think it should be a shared battle pass, like COD does it. You got Warzone players, you got multiplayer players. They share the battle pass. No matter which
Right.
one you're playing, you just unlock items. I think Tarkov should do that too. It should just be whatever you enjoy playing the most. You shouldn't have to play one mode just to get the stuff. Like,
I
you know
think
what I
there
mean?
should
Like that's the way I feel.
I think there should be exclusivity to it, and not just on the arena side. Like they could have exclusives specifically for the PVE side, or not PVE, but the base game side. There could be specific face masks, armor unlocks, paint unlocks that you can only get by completing certain tasks on PvP, and the last 10, 20, 50, 60 rewards, whatever, on the arena battle pass are exclusive to arena. That way, it's like those people that put the time in grinding out the arena side feel rewarded. Those guys that put the time in grinding out on PvP feel rewarded, and then everybody still gets access to pretty much everything. But you're being rewarded for grinding those things out and actually doing it. Because I mean, 150 tiers is a lot. That's a lot to get through.
It is, yeah, it is. But that's why I feel like if they just made it shared, people who enjoy Arena, no one will feel like they didn't get something. You know what I mean? People who enjoy Arena can get it through Arena. People who enjoy Tarkov can get it through Tarkov.
But then it also,
Like
if there's exclusiveness to it,
everybody
it
gets
kind of
everything.
drives players to play both.
I mean, it does, and that's why they're doing it for Arena first, is they want players to come to Arena. Like that's why they, done it when they launched it on Epic Games. That's the
Like if
whole
you're
draw.
only able to get that sweet demon face mask, right, the one with the teeth on it, if you're only able to get that CQCM by playing arena, how many PvP players or EFT players would go play arena to unlock specifically that mask? You know what I mean? It would just help drive players on both directions. And same for PvP. You
Well,
could
the
have some
the
cool exclusives on that end.
only thing I don't like about that idea is if there are some things exclusive to Arena, there's always going to be those few people who don't have Arena, and you know what I mean. Like it's like they want that, but should they have to buy Arena and go all the way through the whole battle pass just to get that? I just don't like that part of it. I think you know what I mean. Like
I mean,
it
they
should
could
just
have
be
a
a
very
Tarkov
similar
thing.
reward. on PvP, like the red demon instead of the black demon. You know, like I don't think there's anything wrong with some
Yeah,
exclusivity, and I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, yeah, you don't have this, you don't get it. Like that happens. That's kind of in the Tarkov nature too. Like, you didn't get it done, you don't get it. You know, because there's going to be players
yeah,
who go to do the battle pass and don't focus on it, don't unlock rewards, don't do whatever, and just miss out on a bunch of shit anyways.
right. Well, that's the thing. I just think the battle pass. Everybody should have equal opportunity to the battle pass, no matter which game mode you play. If you want to switch the rewards up through the battle pass, that's fine. You know, give arena different stuff, give EFT different stuff. That's fine. I just wish everybody had the same opportunity to, you know, just grind a battle pass. I just think a battle pass for Tarkov is cool. Give both game modes the option. And I think that's what they've always
I
said
mean,
that's
that
the
is the
way it's going to
goal,
go
right?
in
That is,
anyways.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it's like it's going to get there anyways.
yeah. I
So
just
yeah.
think that those last few rewards, or even all the rewards to a degree, could have some variance to them for arena players
Yeah,
and
you can make them
PvP
different.
players.
Yeah.
Think that
Yeah,
I
make
don't
them
see anything
different.
wrong with that. Some exclusivity. It would be good for the company. It would be cool for the player base. It doesn't really affect anyone too major. Like, oh, I didn't get this specific thing. I got this specific thing instead. It's like, yeah, well, you could have went and done the arena side if you'd rather. It's kind of like when you choose your achievements, right? Unless you reset your account like through the zombie event, you weren't getting both achievements. You had to pick. Did you want to do therapist or are you doing Jaeger? Like, what are you doing?
Right. And like I said, my only issue with that is not every account has access to Arena. If Arena was included with Tarkov, yeah, that's fine. But it's like not every. If you have like a separate account, you have to go buy Arena if you want it on both your accounts. Or if someone just doesn't have the money to buy Arena, then they're just locked out of it. It's just, I just feel like it doesn't have to be that way. Yes, it's cool, I guess, but it doesn't have to be that way. I think everybody be
Well,
fine
no,
with getting, you know, somewhat similar rewards. But I get it. Some people, you know,
I
especially like from your vantage points, like you grind it out. Yeah, you want something that distinguishes you personally. Like, hey, I did this, and that's fine. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like it doesn't have to be that way. It's like
well
if it
no,
does,
and,
it's
and
fine.
we
But
we know it's not going to be that way. We know that they're bringing, if even if they don't
well,
necessarily bring a battle pass to PvP, they're still bringing the rewards to PvP, and that's really what the players give a shit about. They
well,
don't
no, it's
care that
coming to
they have to go through.
PVE. It's coming to
Well,
PVE and
EFT.
PvP.
We should just say EFT, right? Like base game,
Yeah, yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
We should, yeah.
yeah,
I keep mixing myself up on that too.
yeah.
But yeah, it's coming to EFT. So that's, even if you don't have to grind out the battle pass, which honestly is the best way to go about it. The players on the base game will still get all the same rewards.
And which we don't know yet, honestly. They've
Yeah, to
hinted
what
about what they're going to
extent are they
do.
bringing over?
Yeah, we don't know if it's going to be. Like I said, I would hope it's just the same. You just have EXP, you know what I mean? You do your daily grind, you earn battle pass points. I hope you could do it on both. Right now, obviously, the draw is they're wanting to get players on Arena. They just launched it on Epic. It's like this is a push to get people playing Arena, and it's working. Obviously, if you
Yeah,
can only get the stuff on Arena, people are going to play Arena. But eventually, that's going to wear down. Um, People are going to get half the battle pass and think, well, that's cool. I got a bunch of cool stuff I liked. I don't want to, you know, keep playing it and finish it out. So I'm just going to quit. But I just, having for both games would be cool. A draw for Arena is fine. Like, I just wish Arena would eventually just be a draw on its own where you don't have to put stuff that's, you know, only available in Arena there to get people to go to it. But we're just not there yet. So I get why they're doing it. Um, So yeah, who knows where it's going? Like we don't know what direction they're going to take this with the battle pass. We don't know when they bring it to when they bring it to EFT, if it's going to be exactly the same, if it's going to be you just get the items
I don't
that you
see. Yeah,
unlocked.
I don't see how they could
Like
really pull off a battle pass in EFT outside of like attaching it to your dailies, maybe like they do now with Arena.
what they could just attach it to in raid. You just go in raid and whatever XP you earn in raid goes towards, you know, say you get 5,000 XP that unlocks 2 Arena or 2 battle pass points. You know what I mean? Like same thing you do in Arena. It's the same exact thing.
Yeah,
Missions will obviously
yeah,
give you
that
extra. You can
would
get
work,
like dailies
right?
for extra stuff. But yeah, you go in and kill like all these bosses and stuff on EFT. Like yeah, you should probably get a big chunk of battle pass points. Like I said, they do the same thing they do in Warzone and Black Ops. Like it's or and COD multiplayer. It's the same exact thing. It's 2 different game modes, but they both play to the exact same battle pass. You just get XP that is, you know, it goes throughout both modes. But who knows? This is their first attempt.
Yeah, it's
We
it's
don't
so
know
hard to
where this is
tell.
going to go.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
it
don't
is
know.
extremely hard to tell, and that's the thing with Battle State too. Is like we could be thinking one way, and they're on the opposite side of the tracks, right? Um,
Right.
they are hard to read, and it's kind of hard to know exactly what their plans are. I mean, let's just hint on, or hit on the one of their most recent Twitter posts, the reserve situation, right? They kept showing the reserve tunnel that you walk through as you're heading to D2 extract. And they showed
Right.
it like as it's spiraling, the camera was kind of spiraling around it. So you had this, weird, like almost tunnel spinning view vision thing. But everybody's like, what is it? Is it a new entrance to the labyrinth? Are they reworking underground reserve and adding new areas? Like, what is it? What is it? It was a 10-hour mix of the reserve alarms. That's it. A
Right.
10-hour mix of the
Right.
reserve alarms. And granted, that they could still absolutely be doing something on the backside of that. They could still be reworking Reserve Underground. They could be doing a million and one things, and that's just something
Yeah,
that came
Nikita,
from it, right?
he loves to throw people off.
Yeah,
So it's like that's in his nature to try to throw everybody off.
yeah. Um, it would be cool to see Reserve get a little bit of a rework in the underground area, maybe a few more ways to get to that D2 zone extract area,
Oh,
so you
absolutely.
can kind of not necessarily avoid all the ratting, but have different approaches to get to that center door that takes you through. Like that would be cool. And it would open up a
Yeah,
lot of
because
opportunities
reserve.
for travel on the reserve map too.
Well, it is one of the smallest maps as far as like the actual like cubic like
Yeah,
space.
yeah.
Like
Not counting
it's
layers, but just size
yeah,
wise.
that's the thing. It's got all the layers, which basically doubles its size, almost doubles the size. Um, but yeah, like so it does have a lot of room for opening up. Um, and I wouldn't be surprised if they'd done they do a lot more map expansions to pretty much every map before they call it quits on or call it done. I wouldn't be surprised to see everything get a few more updates.
Yeah, and I mean, it makes sense, right? The game's been out for so long. If nothing else, just to give the players some new stuff to run around in and do. Because
Right.
if as they
Well,
expand maps, as they rework Lighthouse, as they change things about this, that, and the other, there's task opportunities that open up there too, and new PvP fighting areas, and just depending on how they build it, which they do a pretty good job with already, it could really expand on just Tarkov in general.
and just back to the battle pass thing real quick. If that shows us anything, I think the main takeaway is skins are going to be in the future of Tarkov in several different ways. There are going to be skins that you can just buy from traders. There's going to be skins that you can just earn from doing missions. There's going to be skins from the battle pass. So it's like that's kind of going to be the future of Tarkov. So it's like you don't have to really you don't have to worry that you're going to really miss out on things. I feel like it's going to become such a common thing now to where skins are kind of going to be hard to not get. It just feels
Yeah,
like that's the future
yeah.
now. That's just where the game's going naturally. Like that's the next step. You got
Well,
so much gear, so many things. It's eventually, I think, just going to be a normal thing.
and look at just the amount of real world options you have. Say you're going airsofting, right? You've got every military camouflage pattern and knockoff there is in the world. You've got ghillie suits, you've got your regular clothing, like you have all these options in real life. Why it makes sense for them to just have plenty of options, plenty of different things they could do. And I mean, we have all these weather seasons, we have all these things where it's like, okay, I'd like to be able to wear certain camouflages, but it doesn't really make sense because they don't really blend with the environment or they don't
Right.
really work in the season that we're in or whatever it may be. And sure, that's a pretty minuscule thing to look at, but it is a thought. It is there, and everybody
Yeah.
likes to be
Yeah. Yeah.
drippy. And if it's
Yeah.
if it's fall and rainy and shitty out, you want to be in your dark collars, your muddies, and all that kind of stuff. But with Tarkov, it's kind of not necessarily limited, but you're like only so many options for collar variants in that right season.
Well, and like your best option of like changing a gun was like you put like the FDE parts
Yeah,
on an
yeah,
M4 to make it look tan, you know what I mean? But
right.
it's like it makes a lot more sense instead of them putting in like three variants of each item that you can put on a gun. It's like just put
One
skins
part,
in.
a
So
bunch of paint.
yeah, one
Yeah,
part, and you personally can change the variant.
yeah,
Like I don't think they're going to take out the parts that they already have in that have multiple variants. Like they're already in the game, no reason to take them out. But
yeah. It doesn't make
from here
sense.
on out, there's no reason to add a bunch of different colors of something if they're going to be able to let us do it ourselves.
Right. And if they are gonna let us paint our gun, which breaks up a lot of your silhouette, right? When you're able to make it blend with the environment. If we're running shoreline, I'd probably paint my gun more of a greenish and brown just to keep it in
Yeah,
line with
even
the
that
nature
first
side.
green that you unlock in the battle pass, like
Looks
that's
good. Yeah, that'd be a
decent.
good
Like,
blend.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Do you think since they are allowing us to start painting things and they're gonna add these skins and different cosmetic and items and things like that, do you think we're getting closer to a Tarkov where we have some sort of ghillie option? Do you
Um,
think Tarkov will ever let us have a ghillie suit?
I'm trying to remember. I know we have seen pictures before of ghillie suits, but I think that ended up being Zerachi. I think
Yeah, I
like
think it
the
was.
early
Yeah,
photos ended up being the Zerachi model. Yeah.
yeah.
Um. So I don't know. Like I don't see what it would hurt considering, you know what I mean? Like you can already blend in a bush right now pretty easily if you want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and we have the face
Um
mask or the hat that covers the LCS,
yeah.
I think it is, that covers your face already. It's partially ghillied.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
camos
Yeah.
that,
So
depending on what map you're on, can definitely blend you. Yeah,
so yeah, I could see it. Like I don't think it would hurt anything. Like it would definitely be OP to an extent just because, you know, a ghillie suit is going to blend you in a lot more than just anything else considering,
right.
especially if it's a like, you know, a realistic ghillie suit that has like, you know, leaves and
Stuff
branches
sticking
and,
up.
you
Yeah,
know, twigs and moss and yeah, you know what I mean?
right.
Like so depending on the area you're trying to blend in with, it could be a very OP thing, but in Tarkov stuff like that usually has a high cost and it's
Right.
not easy
No
to
armor, no
acquire.
helmet.
So
Yeah.
right, right. So as long as they do it that way, balance it out, I would have no issue with it. And I would imagine they would do it, you know. I could see it coming.
It would be really cool, especially when you're doing shooter born, you're doing those missions that require you to use a sniper rifle, especially at distance, to have the option of being gillied up and being a sniper and being, the guy that my team's relying on to cover for and this, that, and the other. Like you could just like get into the immersion that much more. You could kind of you would be able to actually take on the role of being a quote unquote sniper. Like
Right, right. You
if
get the
if you all are
advantages of
pushing
really being a
Sawmill.
sniper.
Right, and I wanna post up on the hill, and I just wanna watch over you guys, keep an eye on things. If I'm sitting there in plain clothing and I'm just laying in the weeds, people are gonna see me every time. But if I'm in a ghillie suit,
Right.
a tan ghillie suit, and I'm laying in the weeds, it's gonna be a little bit harder. And would it be impossible? No, I'd say not. They could definitely design it to where if you're looking at just scanning an area, you could eventually, like, notice where that ghillie is, but it would add that tactical advantage to let the sniper have a little more, cover to do their job, to do their thing. It's
Well,
not a huge thing by any means, but it would be
no,
cool. It would
no.
be really cool.
Yeah,
I
it would
would
be
wear
cool.
a ghillie suit.
It,
If I couldn't take
it
in a
would be
backpack,
nice.
no armor, no helmet, and all I could do was run I'd still do it just because that's the role I want to play. That's what I want to do.
Well, it'd be nice, especially for solos. Like if you're in one of those situations where, you know, you're just out trying to get certain kills for a mission, and you know there's 3 or 4 different teams running around, and you're trying to get some really sneaky shots. You don't want them to know where you're at. You know what I mean? Because right now, let's face it, if you are a single player and you snipe at a 4-man that's down in like Sawmill and you're up on the rock, 99% of the time they're going to notice exactly where you're at and they're just going to rush you and kill you before you can take all of them out. It'd be cool if you could actually like slowly make them choose whether they want to stay where they're at or retreat. Like the option isn't to just rush you and kill you. The option is, oh, we don't know where this guy's at. We got to
Right.
leave.
We have a
Like that would
general
be cool to
idea the
give.
shot came from the left, but we don't see anything.
Yeah,
There's no obvious signs he's there, and
right,
especially if we're able to paint suppressors, scopes, everything else on the
right.
gun. I mean, we're already blending in a good bit there. Now I just don't necessarily have to lay in a bush to do it. Um,
Right.
and there's not
Yeah, that'd be
always good
cool.
cover for those things. So like a ghillie suit would literally let you tuck in just laying next to a tree or wherever, and you would be relatively covered
Well, it
due
would
to
open up so many new spots because right now
yeah,
everybody knows all the spots. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. There's only
everybody
so many
knows
places you
the
can like legitimately tuck in.
exactly. So it's like if you get an actual clothing item that allows you to blend in with majority of the environment, then that just opens up so many other possibilities.
You think we'll
Now
see
you
kind
know
of in line with the
people would be
ghillie?
very upset with it, but
Yeah, but don't we already
oh
have to
well.
deal with a lot of things that people don't like?
Exactly, exactly,
It
exactly.
just it doesn't make sense to not
Yeah,
have it. Do
yeah,
you
it'll be
think
fun.
kind of in line with the ghillie? They gave us a variety of white options already. Do you think we'll see a world where they let us have a white bottom and top? Or are
Oh,
we always gonna
absolutely.
have to have that? Are we always gonna have that white and tan and white combo?
Yeah.
Because
I
that's
think they're going to go
frustrating.
all out. Yeah, I think they're going all out. Like I said earlier, with the battle pass and everything, I think the future of Tarkov is just skins,
Yeah.
and I think that's for everything. I think it's for all your clothes. I think it's all for all your guns. I think this kind of started to show everybody what's possible, but eventually the floodgates will open. That's just the natural progression of
Right.
skins in games. Now
Well,
I don't think they're going to go crazy like Call of Duty, have like dark matter camos and like
yeah.
animated camos or anything like that.
Right.
Um,
That would be
even with the
too far
ones
fetched, too
they put
goofy.
in, yeah, even with the ones they put in, they did a good job of keeping it, grounded, as far as like reality. There's still, a couple ones like the tiger stripe ones. There's like the purple one and the purple and yellow one. Like there's a
I
few
mean,
like
that
really,
is
it is, but that's I think as far as they'll go. You know what I mean? I
yeah.
think that's
Yeah.
like that's as extreme as it's going to get, and it's
Right.
still grounded. Um,
Well, and like the
but yeah, I just think
CQCMs that kind of feel like the face mask they added, the target
yeah,
practice one, the please stop me in the smiley face. I think those are both references. The target one, I don't know. I think that's just goofy and funny, and I think they just liked it.
yeah. I think it's just,
But
but the
the
other one's
please stop me in the smiley
man,
face, I think are from Manhunt.
manhunt. Yeah,
I
yeah. It's
know please
the
stop me is.
manhunt.
I know for a fact. I saw it and I was
Yeah,
like, oh shit, that's Manhunt.
yeah.
But I think the smiley face is too. It might be from a similar game, but I'm pretty certain it's from Manhunt also. Which is crazy to me to see a reference to Manhunt. That dude, I spent so much time. My mom hated that I played that game, but she still let me play it because I was like, "Mom, it's just a game. Like, it doesn't mean I'm gonna go kill people." But dude, that game was
Yeah,
like
it was such a fun
violent for
game,
what
dude.
it came out,
It
and I was a
was. It was.
child playing that shit.
It wa-
Yeah, but
it
dude, it
was
was
one of the
so
OGs.
good. It was so good.
Yeah.
Knifing people with the fucking glass,
Yeah, dude. It was one of those
and it was kind
games
of
that
scary too.
I kind of forgot about it, and it's like once I seen something about it not too long ago, and I started looking into it again, and I was like, oh my god, like it brought back all the memories of me
All the
playing it
memories,
because I
yeah.
forgot that I even played it. But yeah, I played all. There was two of them, right? Manhunt 2, Manhunt 1 and
Manhunt
2,
and Manhunt
I
2,
think.
yeah. I
Yeah,
never
yeah, yeah,
really got into Manhunt 2. It just felt different. But Manhunt 1, oh man, I think it was because it was scary to me back then. Like, and not necessarily like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
I got spooked, but like people act like this. This is like you could put a
yeah,
bag over someone's head and stab them in the like you could do that. Like as a child, it's like, oh, it's like grotesque scary. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
gory.
yeah. It was
But it was
new,
cool.
like
It
it
was
was
so
something. Yeah, something you'd never really done. You'd never really did things like that in a
yeah,
video
even
game,
Grand Theft
up
Auto
until
was
that
kind of
point.
limited in how the violence
Yeah,
played out. This was like
yeah,
in your
this was
face
like serial
gore.
killer, like yeah,
Yeah.
like like Halloween, like scary movie type
Purge
gore, like
shit. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I just think as far as outfits and everything, I just think it's unlimited from here on out. I think you're gonna have anything and everything you could want. Um,
I hope
n-
that we get a system where those outfits are always available and it's not like, oh, it's rotating. You didn't spend your money. Rotate.
yeah,
You
I
know.
don't know how they're gonna monetize it. I
But
don't know how they're gonna
they
monetize
would
it.
have to have a system, almost practically an entirely separate menu at the like your main menu. You got character trading, and then you got like cosmetics or something. They would almost have to do something like that because it's
Right.
overwhelming already the amount of stuff you can click through and go through and find. And granted, like Ragman clothing options, not a lot there. Still a decent amount. I'm not mad at the clothing options. I want more, obviously, but I don't hate it. But yeah,
Well,
I
it's
think
like even in Arena alone, when you go to your clothing options, it's like you get twice as much options as you do in normal Tarkov. Like you
yeah,
can dress as a scav, you can dress as
yeah,
a scav guard, like
right.
you can dress as like there's so many different things that
PNCs.
you
There's
get.
just like yeah,
Yeah,
there's some cool stuff, and that's all just base stuff that you have just
yeah,
available
yeah,
to
stuff
you.
that's just unlocked. Yeah, yeah, and so it's like
And then
I
there's
don't know.
Ragman in Arena who has all his clothing options still too.
Yeah, yeah, it's like you have your normal PMC options, then you have your just base Arena options, and I think it's going to get to the point where they're going to have to dedicate like a trader or just a menu or something that just links outfits in general, and it's just
Right.
one place to go. And like you said, you got your little skins tab, and then you got your like your actual like different clothing unlocks. because you should have clothing unlocks, but then you should have skins for those
Or
clothes
for those clothes,
instead
yeah,
of
variants for
yeah,
everything.
instead of making each skin a different item, because that's just going to
Right.
clog up, like you
Exactly.
said, your inventory and even the traders. It's just going to clog up what they have. Like
And just like
just
scrolling through all that stuff would get old,
right
especially when you're
in
looking for a
most games.
specific thing, right? Like it's
Well, yeah, in most games, the way they've always did it, and the way that seems to have worked best, is you have this certain gun, and you have 5 or 6 different camos unlocked for it. You pick the gun, and then you decide
choose the
what camo you want
camouflage.
on it.
Yeah.
You don't have 5, 6 guns. You
Yeah.
have one gun with camo options, and
Right.
I'm hoping that's the way they're going to go with it.
I could see him taking that route. That route makes the most sense because then you could have your ghillie pants, ghillie shirt, ghillie hat, all the variants. Jeans, t-shirt, boots, all the variants. Long sleeve, shorts, fucking tall boots, like a billion and one. You got your fucking strap on, strap offs, and head rigs. You know, like you got a million and one different options, and then you just have 1,000
Right.
variants for all of them. And
Okay.
even
Well, here's the
if you
big
have an
question.
absurd amount of those, it's still so much less convoluted and so much easier to manipulate and get through and find the right stuff when you're like, okay, I want the ghillie pants and I want the fall fucking collars. Done.
Right.
You know? What's your
Well, here's
question?
the big question. I think, this is what's going to determine how successful this ends up being. Do they stick with the same way they're doing it right now? They're making money by incentivizing people to come to Arena, buy Arena, and you get this Battle Pass. Do they keep that to where you have to buy Arena, they make money through people buying Arena, or do they actually just monetize the Battle Pass and open it up for everyone?
I
Like,
think it's a
you
slippery
just buy the Battle
slope
Pass.
to monetize the battle pass. I would I think there's benefits and negatives to both sides. I would love to see a free to play arena because that would drive up the player base, which would just help BSG in the long run. But then they would monetize the battle pass, which means they would probably do a
Yeah.
free and a premium.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then which
Yeah.
means they would probably add ways that you can pay real cash to unlock rewards. That way you're never missing your unlocking the entire battle pass, right? Like, well, I spent $10 on it. I don't want to miss it. I don't have time to play. I got a full-time job. I do this, this, and this. Why do I get fucked, right? Like, okay, well, throw $20 at it and you can unlock the whole thing, right? Because
Well,
that's
see, I hope
kind
they
of like the progression
don't.
it leads towards. Is it's like, well, everything has to start being paid then. All you just want to be able to buy these clothes? Okay, well, here's an option to just buy this outfit. Here's an option to buy just this skin. And I think it's a slippery slope. I trust
Well,
BSG, and I think that they're capable of making that right call of being like, if they do go free to play arena, here's a paid battle pass, make the paid battle pass cheap enough to where if people miss out on items, it's not a big deal. And if they finish it, cool, good job, congratulations, you spent $10, you're done, and we'll see you next. They'd have to expand the battle pass so they're not reaming people every 2 months, because that's the other side of it is they're only having it out, or they're only having it out for 2 months at a time, and then the new season. So it's like, okay, well, there's 10, 20, 40, 80, 100. You know what I mean? It adds up pretty quickly when you're doing it on a 2 month cycle. So they'd have to expand that or lower the price. I don't know. It's a slippery slope. I think it's a very dangerous game to play when you're monetizing a battle pass, because it turns into, well, can't you just charge me for this? Can't I just pay money at this? And then it becomes like, well, you can just throw money at everything and just buy what you want, unlock what you want. And I don't think that's the right path for Tarkov.
well, here's they're going to do something because eventually arena sales are going to stop because everybody's going
Right.
to have arena. At least all the people that want it. So it's like then they're going to have to find another way to make money off these battle passes. They're not just going to
Ooh.
give them out for free. So
Well, what
what
if
I
they go ahead?
well, I was just say what I would suggest is just make it a paid battle pass, make arena free. Um, the paid battle pass obviously gets you a few more good items, but the free battle pass you can still get anything that's relatively decent. The incentive of finishing the battle pass is still there if you want the items right now, but for the people who don't finish the battle pass, you can unlock that stuff later on through like a mission or through like certain like
How
weeklies, or they'll give you a way to get it. That way you don't have to have people just pay money. Give alternate ways to get it. And then if they don't get it, oh well, you know what I mean? Like there's still going to be exclusivity. But just everyone has a chance to get it, whether they pay or not. that's how BSG mostly does things. They make a paid way, and then they make everybody, like they've done that with everything they've ever introduced. So I feel like that's the way they're going to go.
Why not just make Arena $15, make the Battle Pass free, and then as Season 0 ends, it goes into a back catalog, Season 1 starts. Season 1 is a free Battle Pass. If you want to finish Season 0 and get those rewards, give us $10. You can finish the Battle Pass. You can have XP going to both Battle Passes, whatever. Like, it'll reopen it. I feel like if they monetize the Battle Pass and make the game free to play, you're just running down the same slope that all these other games are that are just heavily monetized, greedy, and shitty. And I just hate to see Tarkov ever go that route. I'd hate to see a game that I genuinely enjoy get ruined by monetization like all these other games.
Well, it'd just be cosmetic. You know what I mean? Like, that's all the Battle Pass. It's just cosmetic.
At least it would
like,
start that way,
so,
right?
Well, I don't feel like Tarkov will ever. Nikita's already said they're never going to add, like, paid guns, stuff like that. He's already made that clear. So I don't even worry about that. That doesn't even cross my mind. I think the Battle Pass will always just be cosmetic. I take their word on that. I really do.
I think if the current system is sustainable and brings in cash flow, I think it's probably best to leave it as is and maybe make a way to purchase things you missed out on later. I think that would probably be the safest, easiest way, and it would still let them like, yeah, I have Arena, I do this, that, or the other. I didn't finish the Battle Pass. It's Season 5 now. Man, I really wish I would have got that Please Stop Me mask from Season 1 or Season 0. It's like, okay, well, here's the back catalog of all the previous Battle Passes. You can purchase what you want here. And that would open up a cosmetic store that you could pay cash towards, but not necessarily incentivize people buying the Battle Pass. I have such a bad taste in my mouth about a paid Battle Pass for a current season, because then it's like I said, all those people that don't finish it, or those people that always, like the COD players that day one Battle Pass drops, they just throw cash at the entire thing. Like, it depends on how they did it, but as long, I guess if there's not
I don't
a
think
way
you should
to
be
like
able to buy it.
buy rewards
I don't think you should
and
be able
like
to buy
buy
it.
tiers, that would be fine. But if you're gonna make people pay money for it, you kind of have to give them a way to finish it, because then
Well, like I
people are
said,
going to
and you don't
complain
have
like,
to.
oh, it's only out for 2 months. I paid $15 for this Battle Pass and I only made it to tier 20 because I don't have time to play the game because I got to, whatever. And then it's like,
Well, and
okay,
that would
well,
only
now we got to
be
add a way for people to buy this shit so
the
nobody's complaining. It just
the
seems like a
good
really
stuff.
slippery slope.
The good stuff is still gettable. You know what I mean? On free. I think you implement the paid Battle Pass just to make money, because otherwise you're not going to be making any money. Because, like I said, everyone that wants Arena is already going to have Arena. So what's your incentive to even make a Battle Pass if no one's going to be paying you anything? Like, they're going to have to make money somehow.
That's
I
why I think
feel
a
like
back
it's going to be a
catalog of
paid Battle
previous
Pass.
seasons would be the safest bet.
Yeah, and that's what this would kind of be. It would just be like, if you want to donate $10, then you have like something that's decent that you get that the free one doesn't have. I don't know. I just feel like that's the easiest way to do it for them. It's the cleanest way to do it. Don't allow people to just buy it. And you don't even, like I said, most people shouldn't even want, you know what I mean? Because I feel like Tarkov, all this stuff is going to be so easy to get eventually.
I was going to say, how would they go about monetizing a Battle Pass if they're adding everything to PV or EFT to be purchasable through Rev? Are they going to add paid Battle Pass to Tarkov?
I think you have to unlock it. Well, that's the thing. I think you have to unlock it in the Battle Pass to even purchase it from Rev. I don't think you can just purchase it from Rev. I think you have to unlock it in the Battle Pass first.
People still have to come play
purchase
Arena.
it from Rev. Yeah. You still have to. I mean, I hope they don't. I want them to make the Battle Pass for both games. That's what I've been saying. I want the Battle Pass to be.
I just don't see them bringing a paid Battle Pass to Tarkov.
Maybe not. We'll see.
They have surprised me with a few of the things they've done. I mean, definitely have.
Yeah.
I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. I just don't know. And like I said a minute ago, I have a really bad taste in my mouth from just like COD Battle Passes, Apex, and all these other fucking money grabs. It's just, I'm so burnt on that shit, and it's just like ruined me on the Battle Pass system. It's just like gross. I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want it in the game I'm putting my hours into.
Well, the worst part of all those Battle Passes is the like extra special, like the Black Cell, and then the premium, and then if you make it one Battle Pass,
you can just buy it all day one, and
yeah, you can buy everything, buy all your skips.
There's actual advantages to buying the stuff, not just the cosmetic advantage, or not even cosmetic advantage, just like cosmetic look.
I trust BSG enough to where I feel like they would make it as fair as possible. Because, like I said, in the past, anytime they've monetized anything, they give people a way that didn't buy it, still a way to get it. Like with the big pockets, with everything that you got with the Unheard Edition, like they still went back and provided a way for people who didn't buy that, a way to get that stuff. And I feel like they would still do that even with the Battle Pass.
Probably.
I feel like if they're going to keep doing Battle Passes, there needs to be a way that they can make something off of it. Otherwise, it's like, what's the point of doing it over and over and over? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they're going to have to monetize it because they got devs working on it. They're going to have to eventually, somehow, some way. And I just hope that they do. That's the way they do it. They do it as fair as possible, where you don't have to have the premium, but if someone wants to buy the premium, they get like 5 extra outfits or something that the regular doesn't get. But don't
Yeah, I'm all for
if
that. You
if
already
you
know I am.
if you don't get
I'm all for
those, like
exclusivity, but I don't like that it would be
right.
paid. I don't like that I can. I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to see it
Well,
in action because it's
it's just like going to the website and buying an outfit. Only this time you're doing it for a few outfits. You know what I mean? That's the difference. You still get the regular battle pass for free, which still has a lot of cool stuff, just like this one. But then you just incentivize, if you want to make some money, instead of having to sell the regular battle pass, you just make this little bit of extra battle pass that has this few good things in it that people normally, would already went to the website and bought this stuff anyways. Just throw it in the battle pass, make it a paid one. And it just like, it feels like it's the easiest way, the most intrusive way to have paid content, but at the same time have everybody get a good battle pass that's free. I feel like they could do it. And it just seems like a way they would do it. But who
I mean,
knows?
if they're gonna run these out every 2 months too, though, that's a
Well,
lot, and that's a lot of money.
I doubt. Yeah,
That's
I
what they
doubt
said. It's only
that.
out for 2 months.
Well, the first one, yeah, but I don't know if they're going to do everyone like that. You know what I mean?
I mean, if they do them free, sure, easy enough. But then the amount of cosmetic shit that is going to be piled up in some fucking
Yeah,
tab for us to look through to go at least
yeah,
on base game, it's going to be absurd.
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they just keep adding variants to the already everything that's in the battle pass now is what's in every battle pass. It's just variants of it. So I don't know, but like if they do them every 2 months and they run out close, or maybe they run this for 2 months, wait 6 months, run another one for 2 months, wait 6 months. I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know.
what I would guess. I would guess it's going to be like on
I don't
a
see it being an every 2 month process. That's absurd.
yeah, the seasons I could see being like a 3 to 6 month thing. So it probably just depends, you know what I mean? Like, and like we said, this is their first try at this. We'll know more, as time goes. As of right now, everything's up in the air. No one really knows, even though they've said like they've said that all this is coming to PVE. Well,
When
how? You know what I mean? Like how? Like I still don't understand exactly how they're going to do that. Um, I mean, refs coming to PVE, but are they linking your arena, your PvP arena with your PvE account now?
I
Well,
would
how can
say
they
it's
do
just going to
that? Because
be linked to your account, period, right? Like the Ear League Athlete account, PvE or PvP, is linked to Arena. The Ear League Athlete account is, no matter which version of the game it is, which means that they would let you level through Arena for PvE.
well, see, that's the thing you can't do because your PvP character is already tied to arena.
Well, yeah, but if it's shared
So,
XP, right? Like they could just do it the same as we were talking for the Battle
well, I
Pass
just
earlier, just have shared XP on both sides. But then that would mean that your character progression would be tied to the same.
well, I just mean if you're level 30 in PvP and regular Escape from Tarkov and you go play arena, it's like when you come into arena, you're that same character. You're level 30. So then what happens if you come into arena with your level 20 PvE character?
I
It's
don't
like
think
that
you
just
probably wouldn't
doesn't
have the
seem like it would.
choice. I don't think you would have the choice to bring
Yeah.
your PvE character in. I think you would just have the option to bring your Ear League Athlete account character. But the thing that gets me is like, sure, that would be easy enough, but how are you tying progression to all this? Because it's
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's the progression. That's what doesn't make sense.
unless they just say all X stats get X XP per match on either account, PvE and PvP. Yes, this one's at 50, this one's max, this one's at 42, this one's at 2. Like, they could be at different levels, but you still get the same 500 XP applied to each stat, right? So, like on PvP, I've got max strength. On PvE, I'm level 12 strength. So, when I get my strength XP, since I'm max strength on PvEP, nothing goes into that threshold. It falls out, and then PvE gets 500 XP, and I go up to level 12 or whatever the fuck. But I mean, that would be
I don't, yeah, I don't think that's
difficult
possible. I
as
think,
fuck.
yeah, I don't think it's possible.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Because
don't know how they're
everything's
going to
so
tie it all together.
separated.
Maybe they don't tie your PvE account to shit. Your PvP account is what's tied to Arena because they're both PvP focused, and you just have
Yeah, I mean,
access
that's
to
already
ref
how it is.
in the shit.
Right, that's
Like your
already how it
PvE
is. But
account,
they
right?
said,
But they ignore your PvE account for the purpose of the game mode. But you just have access to ref. He is just a trader in PvE.
yeah, but they already said in this last update, it was in the patch notes, they are linking PvE and Arena.
Maybe you can just choose which one you want to level. Then at the start of the screen, you say, "Do you want your PvP account or your PvE account?" That would be the only way that it would work. I think there's
Yeah,
no other
yeah,
way to do it. They would
yeah.
have to make you
I'm
choose
confused
one.
about it.
Yeah, that
I've
is
tried to
weird.
figure out
I
how
didn't
it would
see
make
that.
sense, and yeah, and it does not make sense. Like, I can't think of a way for it to make sense. Like, it just,
But yeah, Arena Battle Pass, pretty cool. A lot of questions, a lot of just a lot of wondering, like how are they doing this? What is the method for the future of these battle passes? How is it all coming to PVE or Tarkov? How is it all coming to Tarkov? And just a lot of questions overall.
a lot of questions. Yeah, a lot more questions than answers, really.
Which we'll find that stuff out as time goes on. We just like to speculate and kind of pick apart each other's brains and find out where we're at, what everybody's thinking, and just see what we can come up with based off what we have so far. And as more
Right.
information comes out, we'll keep updating you guys on it. Now let's go ahead and move over to the NikiLeak, the dev series post that they dropped on X. It starts off, we have Partisan's backpack with Partisan's
Artisan's backpack along
AK.
with his AK. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, just a quick look at that. I mean, yeah, that's Partisan's AK and backpack. I don't know. It's in
Yep.
a chair. And then, I didn't notice this when we first looked at it, but she's dual wielding deagles.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
She
hope
is.
these are wallpapers. I really hope these are wallpapers.
Yeah. I don't know.
Pretty cool. But we have female
And
killer.
I don't even think. I think those are gold TTs, aren't they?
They might be
Dual-wielding
gold TTs. It looked like rails
Yeah,
on
I think
bottom, so I wasn't sure.
it might be. It might be a deagle. I can't tell.
And then we get a new melee potentially. It looks like one of the big, like the David Crockett knife, or
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
what's his name? That's not a knife. This is a knife. Fuck, whatever. The Australian guy from the 90s
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah. Crocodile Dundee.
Crocodile Dundee, not Davy Crockett.
That's close.
But yeah, same guy. Yeah, we see a
Davy
giant
Crockett
melee.
carried a knife too.
Yeah, Davy Crockett lever action rifle here. Same one Crocodile Dundee wore.
Yeah, that's what I'm excited about. That's the
same.
second or third lever action that they've showed in these. So
Right. They just give us a quick look at the ejection port and cycling the lever, and then we have you see these all over reserve, right? I don't actually know what these are. Some sort of alarm setup, maybe, or power system of some sort. There's some knobs and dials and switches and just some stuff, right? I have no idea what these are actually for. I don't know what any of this is, but we see them all over the map, and either they're updating the look of them or they're just showing us this for whatever reason. Like along with the reserve stuff that they've been teasing, these are all over reserve as it is. They're on other maps too, but you see them a lot on reserve.
for some reason, when I see them, it makes me think of like bunker doors, like a control panel for like opening like a bunker. So
Yeah,
that could be, maybe there's like some new stuff coming.
Maybe that tunnel picture or video was hinting at new access to a bunker of some sort.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. That's
very
true.
possible.
These do reminisce, or at least kind of give you the idea of like a
Right.
secure bunker. Yeah, for sure. And then we have what looks like just more movement logic stuff, I would imagine. Just like, how the menu's been,
You have
character
a
movement. I don't know what the pistol at your
player
face
model.
is for.
Yeah, player model showing all the various like animations that they could have.
Yeah.
So yeah, not really sure.
Is the
Then we got
pistol there? Sorry, I was hung up on the pistol at your face. I think it's there just to show like recoil and like where your head's at and stuff probably. But yeah, next, I don't even know what this is. Like I know what it is, but I don't know why.
Right. Looks like a new jacket. Um,
Yeah,
I would
multicam.
assume.
Why the
Yeah.
straps matter,
Now.
I'm not too certain. I know they have a high attention to detail, so they may just be getting every detail right, getting the collaring and, how the strap lays,
Yeah.
that kind of thing, potentially. I could see that.
Probably because you got the picture on the left, which could possibly be the jacket in real life, showing
Right.
like the Velcro strap, and that could be them showing the level of detail, like how real it is.
Yeah.
We got the exact thing, making sure everything's exactly where it should be.
All the collars are
That
the
would be my
same, all the
guess.
layouts the same.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, they do. They put that extra attention to detail in, so it's
they do.
definitely on the
They
side
do.
of possible. And yeah, the multicam jacket. I don't think USEC has one currently, right? Not like this.
Not that collar, no.
So we could definitely be seeing more clothing options. And then we got this cool. This is a bathroom. This is where you poop. No, this is a fucking RPG, guys. Is it an RPG? Hold on.
Um, it looks to be, yes.
It does look like an RPG. It just seems really wide. It seems really like large.
Yeah, I
It could be
can't.
an old school style RPG though, like the old
Yeah, and it could be something mounted on a wall somewhere because it looks like it's mounted like up against a wall. It could just
It looks
be
like it's on
something
like a
that's
weapon rack,
displayed.
like hanging on a
Yeah,
like a display
yeah,
rack.
something that's displayed somewhere. So yeah, just not sure yet on that.
I don't think it's mortars. I don't actually. You know what?
That could be. That
It
could
could be a
actually
mortar
be.
tube. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it very well could be a mortar tube. Because the
because it just
sights and
seems.
things on it
Yeah,
do
it
not
seems
look like an RPG sights.
right in the way it's like bracket banded on there. You know what I mean? It's got like the
Right.
bands around it, and then the tube is so huge.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean that top sight on the rear sight kind of reminiscent. I don't know what old school mortars look like. I know what more current mortars look like. So I'm not sure, but I think that might be a mortar or something. But yeah, and then we have a really cool map of some sort. Is this going to be terminal shit? I doubt it. Uh, is this going to be an add-on to one of the maps? Potentially Lighthouse? Maybe. I think this is an arena map personally, though. What are you thinking on this one?
Um, yeah, I don't know. Like it could just be a building inside of a new map. It could be a new arena map. I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very curious. I
It
don't recognize. There's no collar to it, right? Outside of like that one
well,
few, like the boxes and a
it
couple few things, but so it's hard
looks
to
like a
tell.
stage,
Yes,
but it looks like there's like
definitely.
rocks. For some reason, there's rocks just sitting in the middle of the stage.
Well, and then there's like tower, like castle walls
Yeah.
also,
So
and then there's maybe a sun. Is that supposed to indicate a sun?
yeah,
Top
it
right
looks
of the
like,
stage.
and that looks like a play. Like
This
there
is
was
a
a play that had
school. Yeah,
happened.
this is like at a school
Yeah.
play or something, or maybe
Yeah.
a theater. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously it's a
Who
theater,
knows?
but yeah, that's
Maybe they opened up the theater on streets where you can actually go into the actual theater part and
Can't you go down to like the stage area?
on streets on the theater.
The
I don't think
one
so. I think you can only go
at the
to the
BTR stop? I know you can go
yeah.
to the
Can you?
seats.
Yeah, I don't know if you can go to the stage or
I don't
not.
remember. I haven't been in that building in quite some time.
Yeah,
I
it's been a
don't
while.
not a
It's
real
been a while.
reason to go in there. But yeah, we've got some sort of stage to be added to a map or made out to be an arena map. But yeah, this is what we're currently looking at. Uh, Always speculative on that. And then we have this hideout. I know it's got a bunch of posters on
Yeah,
there. There are a couple new looking posters, I think.
I mean it's definitely in-game assets. The PC is an in-game asset. The posters are in-game assets. So it's
What's up with
definitely
that
Tarkov
question mark
related.
on the mid right poster, the one next to the airplane one? There's a question mark on
Yeah, I
it.
don't know. Yeah, I don't
There's
know.
a, the top left poster looks like one we don't have access to yet. It even says Escape from Tarkov, I believe, or something along those lines. The one to the right of that is interesting. I don't recognize that anyway. And then to the far left of the gene burn, there's something interesting there as well. But I can't. It's so grainy, and obviously they've probably done that on purpose. I can't
Right.
make out what's happening here. But yeah, there's power supply and a bunch of in-game assets. The boxes are all everything. Yeah, pretty cool. But yeah, and then we move on to another character model. I don't recognize this as an in-game model currently, but it very well could be. I haven't looked at every model extensively.
Right.
Um, not a lot there going on. I don't think they just kind of show. You know what? Actually, I didn't really think about that. Is that the standard USEC clothing, or is this the Bear G99?
That looks like isn't that the standard bear clothing? The
Maybe
green jumper and I think it is. I think it looks like the standard bear jacket. Definitely the USEC is camouflaged. That looks to
the
not
Bear is
be.
short
That looks
sleeve.
like a
No, it's not. It's like three
no, it's
quarter
long sleeve,
sleeve.
yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, at least from what I remember, that's what I've been playing on hardcore, and I just have a like green long sleeve shirt.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe it very well could be. But yeah, we
Yeah, it looks like a
see
solid color.
there's like a line across the middle of the chest though. I don't know if that's there in the other one. I'd have to look.
Yeah.
But yeah, another character model with clothing on. It could just be showing something with like the wrinkling in the clothing and just like the when character model moves, the clothing moves too. I don't know. It's hard to tell, especially with no collar to the model itself. Um, yeah, and then we have a
Someone
new
playing
Escape
arena.
from Tarkov Arena. That's a new background, isn't it? Is that the same one? Man, I really don't pay enough attention.
I'm pretty sure that's the same
It
background.
might be. It
Pretty
looks
sure.
slightly
Yeah,
different,
I'm
but
pretty sure.
collar and stuff.
Yeah, there might be a few things different, but I don't know.
And then we get a look at the studio, and then a guy with what looks like. Ooh, what gun is that?
That is.
Is it an Uzi? They got a wooden stock, but they're showing the firing mechanism in the lower receiver. I don't actually
Yeah, if you look on the side there, I do not recognize.
the safety
I
switch.
do not recognize. Yeah, I do not recognize that.
Yeah, I don't know what that extra selector switch is for. Safe,
I can't think of anything with dual
safe
switches on the side
off,
like that.
full auto single fire maybe. Safe hot,
Maybe.
full auto single fire. I don't know, but yeah. So they're showing the firing mechanism there, and then we're back to the start. So that's the new NikiLeak, the new dev series, whatever you want to call it. Pretty interesting stuff. And the other thing with these I've noticed is some of the things they show in these isn't necessarily in line with exactly what's happening in Tarkov today. A couple of these have
No.
been like older posts that they just like, oh yeah, let's upload that. So I don't know if there's a rhyme or a reason for some of the stuff. It's kind of hard to tell. Lately, it seems like a lot of the newer ones are more current. So I don't know if that's again, it's hard to tell
Yeah,
exactly what's going on in these. We
they
just like to look at
definitely
them.
teased a lot of the newer stuff
Yeah,
in these. But also, I think, like you said, it's kind of just like a compilation of things they've worked on, things they are working on, things that, was done in the past. It could just be any of that.
yeah. And it's just cool to kind of look at, get some ideas of what may be coming. It's pretty easy to tell most of the time what's newer content, what's old content. But yeah, it's just another thing we like to speculate on. Another thing we just for us to take a look at and kind of try to gauge and get some sort of idea of what might be happening or might be coming. Um, but yeah, that's the NikiLeak. That's the dev series. I only have one other topic I would like to discuss. I don't know if you have anything else you want to throw in or bring up.
No, no, that was pretty much everything.
All right, so in line with Tarkov, not so much extraction shooters. Yeah, Bungie's new game Marathon. We got to see a good little bit of information on it yesterday. We got to see some of the PvP fighting and the map design and just a look at some of the features and things like that. First thoughts and impressions?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll pass.
pretty accurate. I
Yeah.
might check it out depending on how things come about in the near future before release, like what else we learn about it. As of right now, I'm not really too excited for it. It seems like a very watered down, new player friendly extraction shooter experience. Not really what I'm looking for in any way, shape, or form. Not anything I want to spend money on, and I don't really trust Bungie. If you want to talk about why I have a bad taste in my mouth for a lot of these things, like battle passes and just monetization in games in general, Bungie's partially to blame for that stuff too. I was a huge D1 fan. I put way too many hours. I don't want to discuss it right now. It's a lot. It's a lot of fucking hours, more than I've put into Tarkov by like twice. Um, and it was a great game, not heavily monetized, really fun, really enjoyable. Content was there. Buy the DLC, play it, be done. Destiny 2 comes out and it's just a shit show of heavily monetized battle pass, seasonal changes. You got to buy this dungeon key, you got to pay for this, all the new content, pay, 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 pay. And it was just like, well, Bungie just absolutely ruined this. And I don't think they're going to do anything differently with Marathon. I think it's going to be the exact same situation. I think they're going to just introduce it, have a bunch of paid mechanics, have a bunch of paid shit, and then start introducing new maps, zones, and seasonal changes and this, that, and the other behind paywalls. So that's the other reason I don't want to play, is because I do not trust Bungie in any way, shape, or form.
No, I'm right there with you. From what I've seen from it, yeah, it has some cool things. I just don't think it has enough depth. And if there's anything I've learned about myself over the last 10 years, the only games that I seem to stick with, they have to have a pretty significant amount of realism involved.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
for sure.
and games that stray too far from that, it's like, yeah, I play them for a while, but the only ones I stick with are Daisy, Tarkov, stuff that is grounded in realism, you know?
Yeah,
And I do it subconsciously. Like, I don't do that on purpose. That's where I
that's what
go
we like,
to. And
right?
it's,
That's
yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. It seems like it's not just us. It seems like a lot of people gravitate towards that thing. Now, not saying this won't have an audience, because it very well could. Because there are people who like other things. Like, this seems more of like a professional esport type extraction
extraction
shooter.
shooter. Yeah, I don't know if it'll ever
Yeah,
get that
yeah.
far though. It depends on how the ranked system works. Bungie doesn't have a good track record with the ranked. I know they have a lot of passionate people who care about ranked. The dev team is really good, great artist, beautiful map design. The gun play maybe not be the best, but the gun design and stuff like that, those things are great. I just for whatever reason, Destiny 2, any of their ranked systems have just been shit. Just not good. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully they get it fixed, because it would be interesting. I think it has enough staying power to, like, I would watch people play it competitively probably. But I don't know. I just don't trust Bungie when it comes to the ranked stuff either. I just don't trust Bungie, period.
Well, it's not even ranked. I just feel like it seems like the genre is like esport. Just like not enough variety. It's kind of like there's one way to play the game. And I mean, I could be completely wrong, because all I've seen is,
We have only been given
people.
limited amounts of it, right?
Right. But I did listen to a few of the devs, like some of their conversations, and um, I was not excited by what I heard. It feels like there's a lot of stuff that they've just not focused on, that I feel like if you're really wanting to make uh um extraction shooter that really gives you that same feel as like a Tarkov, I feel like they're missing way too much of that randomness, that unpredictability. I
Yeah.
feel like it's just too predictable.
Yeah.
Even the
Yeah.
people who played it, a lot of the Tarkov people who played it, that was their feedback too. Is it was just the guns are too simple, the maps are cool, but it's like there's so many points of interest, and the AI are all the same. They're just different collared robots. Um,
Well,
all they do is push you. Like, it's just there's not very much variety from what I've heard.
yeah. And the other thing I dislike about it is it's so, unless you actually wipe the team, like actually properly wipe out the entire team, that team is not ever fully eliminated. That player is
No.
never fully eliminated. If you kill a solo, yeah, they're done. If it's a duo or a trio and you kill one or two of them, as long as they have a teammate alive, they'll always be able to just run up to their bag, revive them, back in the fight. Um,
Yeah.
Not a fan of that. I didn't like Rebirth Island on Warzone.
There's a mode, they called it, the dev called it something, but it is a team. Well, it is a team game mode. Like it's designed for teams. It's made for teams. He called it something, but he did say that there is a possibility that they are looking, maybe future, different future game modes possibly. So, but yeah, like everything has been balanced around teams. I just feel like you eliminate so much of the player base when you do stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
Well, and I think they're
I don't know.
going for a different player base. I don't think they want us hardcore Tarkov guys. They don't. There's not enough of us. I think they want a bunch of new players, a bunch of Destiny players, a bunch of people who are just looking for a fast, quick game experience. Right? Like I want to go in, me and a buddy, just like Warzone. Go in, get some kills, maybe not win, maybe win, collect some loot, and get the fuck out. Like I just want to, I want to run that route 25 times in a day, and I want to say, hey, we had a great day and treat it just like a battle royale, except for now I'm extracting. Instead of winning chicken dinners, I'm just grabbing some chicken and leaving. Um, so I don't know. I
Maybe.
I think that like obviously they want hardcore players. Obviously they want the crazy PvPers, but at the same time, I think a lot of the game it feels so basic for an extraction shooter. It just doesn't
I was
even.
gonna
It,
say
it feels
majority of
weird calling it an extraction shooter.
their playtesters are Tarkovers. You know what I mean? Like that's who they've had showing the game off. That's who they've had playing the game. So they're definitely going for that audience of extraction shooter. But like you said, I think it's just toned down. It's not for like hardcore.
It's like the
Like
cycle.
yeah, yeah. It's a
It's like
good comparison.
Destiny meets the cycle. What was the other game I compared it to? Apex meets Destiny meets the cycle. I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
probably a good way to sum it up. Apex gunplay, Destiny visuals, and the cycle mechanics.
And I will give them this. From what I've heard, they've built a lot of lore around it. Like there's a lot of story. There's a lot of like history involved. From what most people said, that's like one of the positives. Like they put a lot into it, so it's not just like some
Oh, yeah, dude, they
empty.
have been working on this game for a very, very long time. And I'm sure that the style of the game has changed and like the idea of the game has changed, but the lore and the story, dude, they've got that shit on lock. I have no doubts in my mind.
Yeah,
If you haven't, which you probably don't care to because you don't care about Destiny, but they have a very rich lore system in Destiny as well. That's just something that Bungie's always been good with. Halo, Destiny, now
right.
Marathon, like they can tell a story. Yeah, I have no doubts that that is probably a very well written, well explained story with lots of lore
Yeah,
hidden around and just different things to
yeah.
explore and find. And that's one thing I did see about it, and somebody was talking about. I don't remember who, but so while it is an extraction shooter and it is map by map based, the maps are pretty large and there's a lot to explore and like secrets to find and
Yeah,
puzzles and like there's a you're essentially living within that world while you're there. Like you're not like doing raids like Destiny, but like you're on planet, you're doing stuff and you're always flagged for PvP. So like there's
right.
definitely some cool systems there. There's definitely going to be some interesting stuff, and I'll probably check it out. But I don't
But
really think it's going to be a game. I'm like, oh, I gotta get into Merit. Oh, I gotta have it. I gotta do it. I gotta play.
there there are raids coming. Raids is
Yeah,
going to be part of it.
yeah. They did say they're going to add like a PVE experience, right? Um,
Yeah,
there's no VoIP though. There's no way to chat with other players in raid.
yeah.
So
As of
like
now,
you kill a two
yeah,
man, and their buddies left, and you're not letting them revive, but you guys are chatting it out. Like you're losing a lot of that interaction that a lot of players
yeah.
enjoy with this kind of game.
Random interactions. You're running around as a solo. You run into a group of three, and you're just like, hey, I'm just trying to get this mission done. Can you guys just not kill me? You can't do
Right.
that. Like
Yeah, yeah,
you're just dead.
yeah, which is unfortunate. Because in oh my god, because in an extraction shooter, that is a big part of the game is being able to communicate your survival. It's not just about
Right.
being able to kill somebody. It's how do you survive this raid?
Well, and you got perks and like special like traits, and guns have like special perks, but you can't take them off and switch them to a different gun. There's a
Your
lot.
attachments don't change the
Um,
gun's function. They don't change the gun's power, but they change the functionality.
yeah, and there's like you have your gold and purple. It's like Fortnite tier. Then you have like your shields. You got your blue shields like Apex, and you got your white shields, and like it just seems like they borrowed a lot from a lot of popular games and tried to throw it into one.
Yeah.
We'll see. You know what I mean? Like I said, I
Yeah.
could see myself playing it and having fun with it for a week or two, but I just
Right. It's
a
not
lot of
a
it depends on their monetization. Like
that is a big
it
part of it
depends
for
where
me
they
too.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
The monetization and just like how prevalent the PvP fighting, like, is that the only way to get shit and really, earn stuff in raid, or am I able to go in and like do the whole aesthetically pleasing and story side of it where I'm exploring and doing stuff, and occasionally I'll run into a fight, but like if I don't want to, I don't have to. Like, is it going to be like the
Right.
Tarkov experience where I can choose to avoid, or is it just like everything funnels you into this zone where there's just combat, combat, combat? Every tunnel, there's going to be somebody on the other end. Is it just going to be like you're constantly fighting? Because like for an extraction shooter, a lot of it is going in, doing your mission, and surviving. Like surviving matters. But the way they've set up the revive system, it seems like it's just more PvP focused. So it's like I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I want to see more
Yeah,
on
and I
it. I
guess
definitely want more information on it.
I guess storage space, like in your little like there's no hideout, but in your inventory is really small. Your backpacks are really small. That
Yeah,
was
I
one
heard
thing a
it's
lot of people
you
were
can
complaining about.
practically fill your stash up, go in, lose your entire stash, and then refill your entire stash in the same raid. Like,
Yeah.
which
Well,
seems
and that's what I think Lupo was saying. He said you go in, he said say you do go in as a solo or say your teammates die and you go and you clutch up a 1v3. He said 80% of that loot you cannot pick up,
right.
which is not good
Yeah, that's the
because that's
opposite of
part
what
of
you
the
want in an
extraction
extraction
shooter.
shooter. Yeah,
Yeah. You want to be able to loot. You want to be able to bring home your rewards. Like that's part of it is stocking up for the next raid. You know what I mean? Like, or for the next few raids. Like,
yeah. Knowing that
if
you
you
have
have a
that
really good
gear
raid,
sets
you
you
should
up.
be rewarded.
Yeah, and knowing you have good
Yeah,
gear in your stash sets you up to be a little more ballsy on your next fight.
exactly.
You're more
Yeah,
willing to run better shit
it's
to
that
go. Yeah,
that Tarkov thing of knowing that there's a come up. Like there's the ability to just hit that big, you know, come up that has you set for the next few raids.
right.
It just feels like that's not in there. And a few of the Tarkov players that I did watch, it seemed like their main thing was even if this game did everything that it is trying to do, it's not going to replace Tarkov for me. Like they're all still like it doesn't do enough of what I want in a game. So it's like I feel like if they feel that way, I would probably feel that way also.
Yeah, more than
Um,
likely.
I think it's just a different category. Like yeah, it's extraction shooter, but I think it's a different type of extraction shooter. I don't think it's meant to keep the same player base, you know.
Yeah, I genuinely don't think they're after the Tarkov player base. I think sure they want like the newer players, they want those less experienced guys, but
Right.
it just feels so
I
watered down compared to any of the other extraction shooters that we've played.
yeah.
It's like it's on a much more basic level. The gunplay
I
may
feel like
be advanced with good movement and stuff like that, but that's any game can accomplish that. The
yeah.
extraction shooter genre is
Yeah.
has kind of specific things players want from the game. That's kind of why we all gravitate towards the extraction shooter.
Right. And I feel like they want Tarkov players. They want everybody, but I feel like their problem is they're missing a bunch of the stuff that draws people and keeps people, you know, which almost all companies that have tried to make extraction shooters, that's been their issue. You know, they don't get the fundamentals correct. And it's like they have some success, but it's like it's to capitalize, you just have to have the right ingredients. And it feels like most companies miss that, especially like DMC. Like it just missed the economy. And from what they say, this doesn't have it doesn't have
There's no
a
auction
flea
house. There's no
market.
player system.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
there's no
it's got one
trading.
trader that has everything, and it's got one
Which
type of
at the
ammo for
moment,
each gun. You got
yeah,
your
that's
heavy ammo, your medium ammo, your
light
you know,
ammo. Yeah,
yeah.
so
It's
like
just
pistols will have a set time to kill based on how fast the pistol shoots.
Right,
SMGs will have
right,
the same system, ARs will have the same system, rockets, whatever. And while they do have a lot of weapon variety, right? Like they got trace rifles. Pretty much if it's in Destiny, it's in Marathon, probably with some
right.
added exceptions. But yeah, that system, especially with the Apex armor system, it's just it doesn't do enough. It doesn't give the players that have been there a long time enough variety, enough options.
Yeah.
Players, especially in the extraction shooter genre, you like having some options for stuff. You don't always want to run the same thing for the 10,000th raid.
Well, and
Um,
it's like even if you're running the same gun over and over in Tarkov, you can at least switch your ammo up and get a completely different performance. You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's like there's just I feel like companies almost have to go that route if they want longevity for their like, for the gunplay. It's just
yeah,
you can't have the simple old heavy, light, medium rounds and expect it to be like exciting. And I don't know, like I said, it might just not be for us. You know what I mean? That could be
yeah,
it. It's just
yeah,
not. You
absolutely.
know, it might be a great game and it might do really well. And I'm sure Bungie has the gunplay dialed in. They're good at that. I'm sure it's a good feeling game.
Yeah, the system
It's
will
just
work, but like you
right.
said,
It
the
just doesn't
longevity
have
aspect of it
the
isn't there. Doesn't have
yeah.
that
Is there the
replayability.
replayability?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what's gonna make me come back raid after raid after
Right.
raid after raid after raid for thousands of hours? They just don't have it. And that's the other problem too, is like the why even start investing time into a game that I don't see myself putting a lot of time into? I guess checking it out is one thing, but I'm not gonna play for, like you said, maybe a week or two, and that'll be it.
Right.
And there's a chance that I play 5 raids, 6 raids, and kind of feel like, yeah, this is washed, and I don't know why I invested or put any money towards it to begin with.
Right.
But yeah,
Well, say you go in and you get all this good stuff, and then you're sitting in your stash and you got all this good stuff. It's like, what's the incentive to go back in and try to get more good stuff if you can't stash more of it? If you're
right,
already full, there's no economy to like trade with players. There's no like upgrade system to really like tweak out a weapon to your liking. It's like it's just like where do you go from there? What is the reason to keep playing?
right.
Um, we'll see though. I mean, it
With the
is a
Destiny
beta.
side, it
They
was like you could collect a variety of guns, you could collect a
and I'm
shit ton
sure
of
they're
different
gonna have
armor
that.
sets and stuff like that, but you had a vault. You had a place to stash all those
Yeah.
things, so you weren't just losing it every raid or every fight or whatever. But
Well,
that two completely different games, two completely different systems. But
if I had to guess, I would think the reason that the stashes and the backpacks and everything are so small is because there's probably going to be paid expansions.
I
Like,
would I would
oh, you
imagine,
want,
yeah, they're taking
yeah,
the
you want a
arena
bigger,
breakout.
yeah, yeah.
I don't
So
doubt
we'll
anything
just
like that from Bungie.
we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah,
I'm curious what they're going to charge for it. Are they going to go full price and still try to do all kinds of
crazy
DLC or
monetization
not
shit. Yeah,
DLC, but yeah,
battle
monetization, or are
passes
they
and
going to go
cosmetics and
yeah, like $10 for the game, and then they got you in there, and then you got to pay for everything once you're in. I mean, I don't know.
it's hard to tell, especially with Bungie.
Well,
I
here's the other thing:
don't
it's a
give them credit
console
for
game
anything other
too.
than being fucking greasy and greedy. I love their artists. I
So,
love the studio of Bungie. I do not like the development, or I love the development team of Bungie. I love the artists, but I do not like the studio. I don't like their
but yeah,
what do you call them? Producers.
it is going to console,
Yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah.
so they are probably targeting that more than anything.
I would say so. I would expect it to be pretty heavily monetized. But yeah, I don't have
Yeah,
much more to say on Marathon.
no,
I'm
nope.
not too excited.
We'll just have
It
to.
looks cool. There's a lot of hype around it right now. People are talking about it, so I figure we could bring it up. But I'm not
Yep,
impressed, and
wait and
I
see.
have nothing but low expectations for this, which
Yeah,
sucks
yeah.
because I used to love Bungie. I used to trust everything they did, but just can't. You
I'm
just
not
cannot.
circling my calendar like when it drops. I'm not
Yeah, I'd stopped
rushing
using
to
circle
try it.
calendars. They were confusing. Went back
Well,
to
you
triangles.
got to use, yeah, but it's just like, star maps are the most accurate.
They are. They are. Oceanic star maps are really good too, though, if you can find some. But you got to keep them from spilling out the water.
I get high ping though on Oceanic servers, so
Oh shit! Yeah, that's probably true.
yeah. But I
I u-
mean,
I use
I get it.
frogs. But all right,
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
Anything else?
I don't think so. I think that's it.
All right. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode of Talking Tarkov, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all of our content. We'll catch you next week. See ya.